Hey guys, to wrap this up, this is part 3. I'm in my office now. Just gonna kind of give you guys a little bit of the setup of how I did the drone. Word to the wise, if you are in cool climates or anything like that, you're gonna be playing outside on a cool morning or anything like that, go with a full synthetic, non-petroleum based, thin paintball lubricant. The militia lube should work for the most part, but it's kind of a middle of the ground lube. It's fairly sticky, but it's also fairly thin and moves well. Currently, I've been using Tech T Gun Salve, which is a very thin lube, very slippery. The coefficient's very low. The coefficient of friction is very low, and it does a really good job as far as combating bolt stick. It really helps with that. Honestly, I've been using it on everybody else's marker that has bolt stick, and because the drone can operate at such low pressures. I mean, it's a 100 psi operating system, so your lubricant becomes a very large part of how the gun functions, and you can notice a big FPS change. If I went from like Tech T Gun Salve, wiped everything out, and put the white Smart Parts grease, which is thicker, in there, and went out and played with it, I could lose up to 20, 30, 40 feet a second just based on the grease and it slowing it down. Now, for recreational play, a lot of times I'll use a thinner grease, or if I'm using very brittle paint. Now, I don't have a gold bolt in my gun, but if you get a gold bolt, it's got a soft touch tip, then you don't have to worry about it as much. Now, using rec paint or anything like that, if I wanted to get a really soft shot, I'd use a thinner lube, thereby me not having to run as much reg pressure, and the bolt moves more freely. It's not trying to shove it around as much. It's a fluid motion. Also, once again, like I said, this is a low pressure gun. You can't stick a standard high pressure tank on here and have it work. You'll leak past some seals. You'll hear it leak air. Now, 600 psi is the highest operating pressure you can run, which is mid, almost high pressure itself. Now, when you first get your drone, check your operating pressure on your tank. Here's why. The factory mode is for 600 psi output pressure. Okay? That's factory. Now, I have a Ninja Reg, a Ninja Light, that I can pull the shims out of the spring. I pulled all the shims out. So I'm at about 450 psi operating pressure. This is where I had problems. I shot almost a case of paint in tuning because the bolt would cycle, give me a hot shot, and then wouldn't reset all the way. Chop a ball because it didn't reset all the way, and then the next ball would be a hot shot. Reason being, and it wouldn't cycle at first, like it wouldn't even cycle the bolt forward and backward. So, once again, part of tuning is you turn the reg all the way down until the air is cut off. You turn the eyes off, have no loader on the gun, start firing the solenoid and opening the reg slowly until the bolt cycles fully, and then one ball at a time, start chronoing the gun until you get in your target range, and then put your loader on and final chrono the gun. That was almost impossible. I actually had an older gentleman who is a friend and a loyal customer who had been sponsored by Macdev for many years that had given me the secret, and I looked on YouTube for days for an answer and I couldn't find one. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you guys. If you have a Ninja and you take the big shim or all the shims out of the reg, I'd go with all the shims. It actually is way more consistent that way. Pull all the shims out, put it all back together, charge the tank, stick it on the gun, change your dwell. Crank your dwell up, start at 15. At factory it's 10. Crank it all the way to 15. I think mine's at 17 or 18 now. I did some fine tuning. Crank it clear to 15, and then start again by shutting the reg all the way off. Flow air into your ASA, but turn your reg down. No paint in the gun, load her off. Start clicking the solenoid with the eyes off and slowly bringing the pressure up until the bolt cycles fully, then start chronoing, and you shouldn't have a problem. This also goes for the old drone DXs as well. A lot of, I think on a low to mid-pressure tank, I think their dwell needs to be like start at 12 and go up. Honestly, you're going to find out real quick that being low pressure, the manual, you have to do a fair amount of tuning. I'm trying to help you out. So start there, and you shouldn't have any problems. I would like in the future for Macdev to send maybe a little chart with the dwell. They do a little research themselves. 600 psi it's 10 milliseconds. At 500 psi it's 12. At 400 it's like 20. Or give me a quick start chart. I called Macdev twice. Talked to a tech 3 times. 2 in the same phone call. And not one of them. And I told them what the output pressure of my tank was. They said, did you set it to factory mode? Yes, I did. Did you check all your O-rings? Yes, that's why my parts kit's empty. Well, you can send it in to us. Send it in to you guys. I told you I tech guns myself. Can you not just, help a friend here and tell me? Because what you're going to do is you're going to take my gun. I'm going to pay for shipping to New York. And you're going to up the dwell, chrono it, put it back in a box and send it back to me. And there's the chance the Postal Service can lose it. I'm not taking that chance. Why don't you just tell me over the phone? That's my struggle. Now, to wind up all of these videos, I will say the Drone 2 is a fantastic gun. Not knocking Macdev, it's a fantastic company. They do fantastic work, and they do have a fantastic product. Now, they're dropping the ball in tech customer service. They're thinking everybody's an incompetent idiot. And, they need to tighten that up. Anyway, that's enough of my rant. This has been Chance from Crosshairs Lima. Hey, we're located in Lima, Ohio. Come on down, shoot your friends, have a good time. This is Chance signing off.